2, 3, 4, all over the place. So I'm like, okay, pay attention to the synchronicities. One of them has been 10, 20. 20 years ago, I was connected with nature. And I've been getting that recently, connect with nature. It's almost like, look, child, you in resistance. Let me go in a little more detail. I know sometimes, you be a little slow to catch on. You so intelligent, so smart, but some stuff you get the complex, but the simple just go over your head sometimes. And it's true. It's okay. That's who I am, and it's beautiful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. But look, God had to say, okay, 10 years ago, you weren't able to do this. 10 years ago, you was in a situation where you was with somebody who was stopping you from being yourself, who actually fought against who you are. Every part of you they wanted to take and harness for themselves, but wouldn't allow you to be it. 20 years ago, you was being yourself. Stuff won't perfect. You won't even doing everything right. But you was being you. You are free to be you again. You have not been in that relationship in years, and you are still not being you. When I left that relationship, I said the spirit must have wanted me to get up out the house right now. Okay. Gotta move. Get up out of the comfort zone and move and go. It is such a beautiful night. Okay. So I started asking people, I'm curious, like what types of feelings, what thoughts and ideas does it produce in you? What is it, the word resonate comes to mind in you when you hear the phrase, be a better person? Like how does that make you feel? Now I got all sorts of answers. Some people focus on the word better, and it immediately make them think that they're not good enough or they need to be better. Some people don't focus on the word better, but focus on the word person. And what it brings to them is vibrate higher, do things better. So then when I say better person versus better human, right? Like what's the difference between person and human? What's the difference in how you feel when you hear the phrase be a better person versus be a better human? Now one answer that I got, from just a guy that I was passing by, walking down the street, a complete stranger, who was gracious enough to just stop and answer, and like he thought about it, and he's like, it just means be a better you. And then the difference between person and human has to do with your personal culture, your individual culture versus the culture of humanity, versus your place in the world, right? So for him, be a better human meant be better in your relationship to other people, and be a better person meant individual self, be better within yourself. It's like, man, I ain't even think of it like that, because before I heard that, I just used the word person and human interchangeably. But he's so right. And then even when you look it up, the dictionary definitions is slightly different. Like it's along the same lines, but a slightly different curve on the same, or different lines on the same curve, or something like that, right? Like it's kind of the same, but not kind of really the same. Okay. Whoa. Who was that? I kind of want that to come back up. I wonder what that was about. Anyway. Person versus human. To be a better person versus to be a better human. In order to be a better person, be a better human, you have to be a better person. When you think about being a better person, what it means to be a better person is being better not just for yourself, but for all of humanity. Because no man is an island, no one is an island. Even sitting at home by myself in my room, my thoughts and my ideas and my emotions and my actions, even alone, still affects humanity in some way. It affects other people in some way. And that's before I even interact directly with somebody, because your energy is already being sent out. It's already being sent out. And that's some dope shit. That is some awesome shit. And I love getting on here and seeing all the people who share their thoughts and ideas, who thinks a little bit deeper about things and don't just take surface stuff. Even in taking the stuff that they learn and pick up from other places, when those people digest the information, and then like come out with something like that's just all of their own, from their own perspectives. Like, that is so beautiful to me. And seeing how it all connects, how it's different, how it's the same, like it's so freaking beautiful. And so many times people are saying the same thing. People that are not even connected physically or even virtually are connected spiritually and mentally. It's like the same fabric, right? Like they say, cut from the same cloth. It's like they were created from the same thread. And it's beautiful. Because I imagined humanity, not just humanity, but existence. All of existence, universe, multiverse, everything in it, to be like a tapestry. And I pictured that tapestry more like a puzzle. And it is. But the puzzle pieces, now I'm seeing it's more like patchwork, right? Like intentional, intricate, like detailed patchwork that all fits together beautifully. But if you look at it individually, like you have to kind of zoom out to see as much of the picture as you can see. But like it's all beautiful. And when you look at it from our earthly level, it just looks like individual pieces. Like individual pieces of cloth. Like they say, we not cut from the same cloth. It's like different threads, different types of threads. And each type of thread makes different artwork. I mean, like, I'm going to just take like regular like materials. So you can have like cotton thread, and each piece of cotton thread makes several different pieces, different types of artwork. Each type of silk piece makes different types of artwork, and it's all beautiful, and none of it is the same, but it's all connected. And if you're looking at a piece of cotton over here, a piece of cotton artwork over here, it may kind of match up to some of the other cotton pieces, but not all of them quite match up. And then you look at the silk one over here and you take them individually, right? And you may see how some can fit together like puzzle pieces, but then some of them you don't see how it immediately fits. But maybe you can kind of, if you kind of zoom out a little bit, you can see that it fits to other pieces of the silk puzzle. But if you zoom all the way out, all of the different types of material makes up one huge, gorgeous, like eternal tapestry that all fits together like a puzzle. And part of our purpose, because your individual purpose is based on who you are as a person. Who you are fits into the bigger picture. You are that thread, and your network, the people you come in contact with throughout your life, makes up your fabric, right? Like that's the fabric that you're a part of. You're like a piece of thread on this fabric that makes up a larger like puzzle piece to this giant, huge tapestry. And who you are is like, your purpose is like that color. It's like a combination of the color and the material that you're made from. So it's like your personality, and your purpose is to fill in that part of the design on the tapestry. And in filling in that part of the design on the tapestry, you are living out and just being who you are, right? Like it's nothing that you have to go and do. You just exist. You just are. And in just you being you, you weave in and out, and you kind of lay in just your curves, your straight edges, your curved sides, like every part of you, every shape of you creates the picture on that tapestry. And while you're doing the curving, while you're doing the straightening, while you're doing the weaving in and out, you don't see it because you're in the act of it. And you can get caught up, like we can get caught up in the act of the thing. And while getting caught up in the act of the thing, the question is like, what am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? What is my purpose? But your purpose is to just be. It's not what you have to be or who you have to be. It's existence exists. You exist. You are. So just be. Like it's no real stress. All of the stress and the chaos that come from these man-made orders. Like you have natural order and you have man-made orders. And it comes from these particular man-made orders with agendas that causes like stress. It imposes unhealthy stress on you. Like there's a certain level of healthy stress that comes with growth and life, right? Like if you got to weave in and out, there's things that got to move and touch and push through. And with that comes stress, but that's normal, healthy stress. Like the seed has to break through the ground. It has to break through the shell. It has to break through the ground. And then the stem has to push out the leaves. Like growth is painful in itself. But when you add extra stress onto like unhealthy conditions, unhealthy environments, that adds the extra stress. And the confusion and anxiety and all of these other responses that are natural responses to abnormal stress, to unnatural stress. But you can just release all of that. Like you don't have to go and find your purpose. It's right there with you because it is who you are. You just got to realize that. You just got to wake up to yourself Just wake up to the truth that you are who you are, and nobody can tell you who you are. Like, you are the truth. The truth is in you, and you are the truth. And all you have to do is just be. And in your being, you fall into place with other people who are just being. And just over time, throughout time and space, it creates the tapestry of existence. And it's freaking beautiful. It is so beautiful. And it's not perfect. And it's a very textured tapestry. It's not flat. It's very textured. It has ins and outs and ups and downs and grooves. And all of those things are the troubles, are the issues, is the pain that comes with growth. Is because part of growth and part of the pain is making mistakes. It's doing things that don't necessarily yield the desired results. And even in those mistakes, things are still as they are supposed to be. And you just learn from it. You just take those lessons and you keep going. Everything is as it should be. Even when it doesn't seem like it. Everything is exactly as it should be. Because existence exists. To exist is to be. So your only purpose is to be. And in being, you are uniquely you. You are your own piece of thread on this tapestry. It may look similar to others, and it's going to look very different than some others. But you are your own unique thread that has your own unique place. And that is amazing. And once you know, I believe, and I'm getting this now, to know that and to live in that is flow. It's just being yourself. It's just being who you are. You ain't got to force nothing. You ain't got to try to be nothing else. You don't have to try to be perfect. You don't have to try to get it right. There is no right and wrong. All of that is relative. There is no right and wrong. It's just existence. It's just existence. And when you exist, you align perfectly. And all of the unnatural things, we will call it the plastic things that was not produced by nature, but that was man-made, was created by humans for a different purpose. Like, what is crazy is all of that is a part of existence too. That is that part of the tapestry. Well, it's left to interpretation. I personally think that's the ugly part of the tapestry. Somebody else may think that that's beautiful. Somebody else may see the beauty in that. And ironically, I can see some of the beauty in it too. Because some of it is like evil genius. Evil aside is still genius. It's just that ugly part. My grandma used to say ugly pretty. Ooh, they ugly pretty. Like, because all of it together is beautiful. So it makes up that beautiful part. But then when you hone in on that part, on the plastic part, to me it is so ugly. And it is so disturbing to the part of the tapestry that is me, to the fabric, the type of fabric that I'm made of. It is ugly and it is disturbing, but it still makes up the entire tapestry. It makes up a part because it exists. So it is a part of existence. So it is. Dang. But just like there's poison, there's things that's poisonous to other things in nature. There's things that's poisonous to animals, certain animals that's not poisonous to us. There's things that's poisonous to us. There's the poison in nature, and then there's the cure in nature. There's the remedy to the poison, right in nature. That poison, depending on perspective, is ugly, it's dangerous. You want to stay away from it. It's not healthy for you. That plastic is poison. It's poison to people. It's poison to the organic life. Like literally. It is poison to organic life. And at the same time, to inorganic life, it is very convenient. To the parts of life that we made up and that we created, it is very convenient. It is useful. But to the organic parts of us, it is deadly, it's toxic, it's cancerous. And it's rotting large parts of this existence. So parts need to be repaired. It had its place, and now we're in a different place, and it has to be repaired. But as a whole, it is a part of a beautiful tapestry of existence. And it is poetic. It's artful. It is freaking amazing. It's like freaking amazing. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's a little light in view. Let me see if I turn it that way. Nope. It's dark out, y'all. It is 12:15. And you know what is crazy and so amazing? This is 2024. And it is after midnight. And I am sitting in the garden. Okay? And it is so freaking beautiful. Okay? So freaking beautiful. 10:20 kept coming up. I kept seeing 10 and 20. Kept hearing 10, 20, 10 to 20. 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I was not gardening, but I would walk through the park. 20 years ago, I had a job where I worked overnight. But even when I was off, I would walk through the park. I lived around the corner from a park, and I would walk through the park. And from that park, you could overlook the city. And it was so beautiful. It was such a peaceful time. That was a time that I would meditate and think. 20 years ago, I was into religion. I was in Christianity. So I would walk and talk, and I would pray. I would listen to scriptures. I would listen to music. And that was my meditation. That was me connecting with source. That was me connecting with God, connecting with nature, right? That was me existing. And it was beautiful. Everything wasn't great in my life. My mind won't even as develop. You know, it's 20 years. A lot changes in 20 years, right? Ideally, it's a lot of growth. But I was at peace, and I had a certain level of freedom. That was 20 years ago. 10 years ago this time, I was in a relationship where I was told that was literally abused, not physically beaten out of me, but it was yelled, screamed, raged. So I was talked down to, like, if I left the house at this hour, that something bad was going to happen to me, or that I was just going out to trick, or I had to cheat, or, you know, like, what are you doing? But this was the time. And maybe that's why. Maybe that's exactly why I had to get up and leave. Now, I'm sitting here. Look, I can't even see myself, let alone put the camera on her. But I'm sitting here with my daughter's dog because she got up whining and crying. Usually we don't go out this late, but she's whining and crying. I asked her if she had to go outside. She jumped up and down all excited. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So we're out here walking, and instead of just a regular walk, I decided to walk to the garden. And that's exactly why. Because this is who I am. And this is why I got the message about existence and about being, and why I feel it. Because I can just be. I can just be me. I can exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have the right to exist and as my authentic self, as who I am. And nobody can say who I am except for me. And I get to do that. And that was part of that 1020 that I've been hearing, right? Like I've been hearing, pay attention to the synchronicities. 234 has been coming up a lot. I'm working on a puzzle. I found the old puzzle book, work on a puzzle. 234 came up in that a couple times. I'm seeing all around. The amount of followers that I have, the time earlier, like I'm just seeing 234 all over the place. So I'm like, okay, pay attention to the synchronicities. One of them has been 1020. 20 years ago, I was connected with nature. And I've been getting that recently, connect with nature. It's almost like, look, child, you in resistance. Let me go in a little more detail. I know sometimes, you be a little slow to catch on. You so intelligent, so smart, but some stuff, you get the complex, but the simple just go over your head sometimes. And it's true. It's okay. That's who I am, and it's beautiful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. But look, God had to say, okay, 10 years ago, you weren't able to do this. 10 years ago, you was in a situation where you was with somebody who was stopping you from being yourself, who actually fought against who you are. Every part of you they wanted to take and harness for themselves, but wouldn't allow you to be it. 20 years ago, you was being yourself. Stuff won't perfect. You won't even doing everything right. But you was being you. You are free to be you again. You have not been in that relationship in years, and you are still not being you. When I left that relationship, I felt like I wasn't myself. I was gaslit so much, and I had to fight just to hold on to my own reality so much that I had to go back and find people who knew me before the relationship. Hey, girl. Just to get validation, just to say, okay, ain't this true? I won't like this at first. Now I'm going through this. Now I'm feeling this. Now I'm like this. True. Stop. No. I see him. He's okay. He keep going. You good. Stop. Chill out. Thank you. Stop. Oh my goodness. But I had to go back and ask people, just because I'm like, look, I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. Like, this is how I'm feeling. I didn't used to do this. I didn't used to do that. This is what I do. How did I used to be? How was I? Like, I literally had to go and ask people. Oh, girl. I had to go and ask people. And then even after all of that, it's like I've been keeping myself in the prison. I've been imprisoning myself within my mind, within myself, not allowing myself to come out and be me, to just exist, to live out my own existence. Once in a while I peep out, but then I'm still asking, what do I have to do? Like, I don't know how to exist. Like, I don't know how to be me. And it's not a good feeling at all. So I'm grateful. I am grateful. And it's not like, it's a little bit, I feel a little bit ashamed that in my grown ass 42-year-old self, I need something outside of myself to tell me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can just be you. But I'm grateful that I'm getting these messages, that I'm being told, you have the permission to be you. You have the permission to not need permission. Oh my gosh. Like, that feels crazy. That feels crazy. And it feels good because that's more validation. It's just like, yes, yes, I can be me. There's nothing wrong with me being me. And me at this point is the me that is freaking awesome, okay? I'm funny sometimes. I'm happy sometimes. I'm angry sometimes. I'm just chill, just regular sometimes. Sometimes I feel silly and goofy. Sometimes I feel strict and extremely focused. It is the me that is healing from narcissistic abuse. Okay? Sometimes I have, not sometimes, it is the me that is dealing with relearning or learning how to be in relationships with people. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about just like relationships, period. Like, I feel so awkward and all the like social norms and like, well, what do I do? Second guessing myself. Can I say this? If I say this, how is this going to come off to the person? Is it just weird? You know, all of that stuff. Like, that's who I am. And I can just be that. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, every stage of my growth and development, like, I can just be that. I don't need permission to make a mistake. I can make a mistake and it's okay. I don't need permission to get it right. I can get it right and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, it's always going to be some sort of opposition, external and internal. It's going to be those voices out there that's going to have some negative judgment, going to have something to say no matter what you do. You too big, you too skinny. Your hair too short, your hair too long. Your hair too nappy, it's too straight. It's too real, it's too fake. Like, you eating too unhealthy, you eating too healthy. Like, what the heck? Get up and dance, go sit down somewhere. Like, it's going to always be, whether it's external or internal. And a lot of times it's both. But so what? I'm the me that talks down on myself. I'm the me that bigs myself up. I'm still me, and it's okay. I can exist. I have the right to exist. I have the right to be me. When I go out and I promote business, I'm second guessing myself in my head, and then I get so tired of second guessing myself that I just say fuck it and give up. And I used to beat myself up about that. Like, the whole time I'm like beating myself up. And in the end, whether I do it or don't do it, I end up feeling like I did something wrong. If I force myself and I actually like listen to myself and I go and do it, then I feel like I didn't do it right because I wasn't in the right energy. I didn't come off to the people the way that is like really in my heart because I was just giving off all this nervous energy. If I don't do it, then I'm down on myself because I'm like, you know, you could have did it. It's so simple. Why are you stuck in your head? So I'm beating myself up for being in my head. Now, I'm like, you know what? I ain't feeling this today. Right now, I'm feeling super nervous. I ain't gonna beat myself up about it. I'm gonna sit down. And maybe in 5 minutes, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna talk to the next people I see. Maybe I'll just do it tomorrow. Maybe I'm gonna just say hi to everybody I pass by today. I ain't gonna beat myself up about it. I'm gonna just be, because that is okay. And if it is meant to be, if these connections are meant to be, then that person will come back around. I'll run into that person again somewhere along life's journey, and it will connect. I ain't stressing it. What I need to stress it for? That's just crazy. So I'm not gonna make myself crazy, and I ain't gonna let no outside voice make me crazy either. Just like I'm not gonna let inside voice make me crazy. Oh, child. Ooh, child, existing be existing. Existence be existing. The be being. Oh my gosh. Some days I'm beating myself up about how I talk, because then I'm super conscious. When I was younger, it was, don't sound too country, don't sound too ghetto, enunciate, pronunciate, speak up so people can hear you and understand you. You have to talk professional. You can't use slang too much and all of that stuff. You got to have the right words and speak proper. And then being around certain family members is, oh, who you think you are? You a white girl. And being around certain people in school, it's like, oh, you fake. Like, you just don't fit in because of how you talk and because of how you act and because of how you think. And then I had to think, like, well, is something wrong with me if I don't speak this way? Is something wrong with me if I do speak this way? So, like, my whole life has been trying to get back to when I'm in certain social situations to talk the same way that I talk in my mind when I'm by myself. And then I'm like, well, what is that? What does that voice sound like out loud? What is the audible version of that voice? Well, it is the voice that I use when I'm talking to my children. Minus the kind of mommy teacher voice. Like, take it slow and be sensitive and let them know that you care. Especially when talking to other adults, because then once I was finally around other adults, it kind of comes off a different way. Oh my gosh. Especially, I got a best friend that do that. It is like, okay, I ain't a child. Why are you talking to me like I'm slow? But really, that's her explaining voice. It's funny. Okay. Because she means well, but sometimes it come off like, But that was one thing I always admired about her, because no matter what, she just go be herself. She just go be herself, and fuck you if you don't like it. Like, screw you. I ain't telling you not to be you. Leave me alone. So I'm like, yes, I gotta pull out that inner friend and just be me. And so now sometimes I'm able to do it. So I'm the me that put on that proper white girl voice sometimes, that in my head can't get out of it. And then when I realize it in the middle of the, oh my gosh, I want to not do it in conversation. And then I'll notice that I'm doing it. And then I'll think about switching up and just relaxing. Like, when I do it, usually I'm being anxious. It's almost like putting on makeup, or like putting on a mask or something, or putting on a character just so I can get through it, right? Almost like I'm hiding behind the voice. I'm hiding behind the voice so that I can speak up and be seen and be heard. So when I realize I'm doing it, I try to cut it off, but then it's too late, because now in my mind, this is in the middle of conversation, I'm thinking all of this, like, dang, if I was to just switch up right now, it'll just sound weird. Like, how I'm gonna go from talking proper to like talking not proper, and like kind of jumbling up some words and not pronunciating and enunciating and all of that stuff. A little bit of country here and there. Like, how I'm gonna switch up in mid-sentence? They gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, who are you? You got multiple personalities. It's the same personality, it's just different voices. I'm working on that. It's funny. Oh my gosh. Like, I have to trip off myself about it. And that is the beautiful thing, because when you honest with yourself, when you admit these things to yourself and you give yourself permission to just be, ain't nothing nobody else can say. Because people would try to pick your little faults. They'll try to pick at your insecurities, try to tear you down and make you feel just as nasty as they feel inside. But I'm telling you, once you admit these things to yourself, ain't nothing nobody can say. And that's a trip, because I used to say that about relationships. Like, the person, like, dating people, the person that I truly like see a possibility with, I'm gonna let you know as much about me as possible, as soon as possible, because ain't nobody gonna be able to tell you nothing. Ain't nobody gonna be able to tell you nothing about me, because you already know. Good, bad, and different. You already know, because I let you know. And then you have the freedom to choose whether or not you want to deal with me or not, based on the actual facts, not based on the representative that I present, but based on all of the facts. And the same is true internally with yourself. You admit these things to yourself. Ain't nothing nobody else can say. Cause you already admit it. You already saying your faults out loud. You already laughing at it. You working on it or not working on it. Maybe it's at the end of your list to work on. That's up to you. You can be you. But ain't nothing nobody can use against you because you just being yourself. You already admitted your faults to yourself. So how somebody go use that against you and make you feel bad about it? As I said, that was one of the things in childhood that I used to get picked on about. It's one of the things that people who don't know me, who get upset or for whatever reason and want to like talk shit about me, they say that and I just laugh at them. Who you think you hurting with that? I done already confronted that about myself. You can't use that against me. You cannot weaponize me against me, okay? Shoot. Mm-mm. All right, come on. She started looking around, getting a little scared, barking at everything and nothing at the same time. So we gotta go ahead and move. And plus them bugs started coming eating me up. It's summertime, almost summertime, y'all. Summer in the city. Hi. That little picket fence, that's the garden. The garden. And that was what I was correct to say when I was talking about that accent. Sometimes I like to do other accents. Sometimes when I'm entertaining myself, I just put on different accents. Sometimes when I'm upset and I just want to laugh, I may throw on a deep country accent and just be talking like this all day. Just walking up to people and how you doing? Oh my gosh. Come on, True. Pip pip cheerio. Sometimes I may just put on a different accent. Whatever I feels like. Cause you know. Look. Ain't no way you could ever get bored. True, come on, what are you doing? Well, girl, you gotta stop pulling. Oh my gosh. I hate when we take a new route. We gotta stop at every tree. Stop at every little thing. And then she wanna run up ahead and pull. She is a little chipping. And she very much has her own personality. She listens when she wants to listen. She understands perfect English. I swear she do. But I really love the fact that she does not pee or poop in the garden. She respects the garden. She wait until we are out of that gate. Beautiful, beautiful. Come on here, girl. And there's other dogs out here barking too. I'm surprised she ain't barking back at them. Lord knows we sitting in the house and the dog barks somewhere in the neighborhood. She barking right back. And they communicating through the apartments. So, this is me. Oh my goodness, in the hair journey. You want to get into the hair journey? I get people that's talking about like, fix yourself up a little bit. Look like you at least tried. And sometimes I get that. But other times I'm like, well, this is me. This is me today. I have the right to show up as myself authentically, right? Do that mean that I'm depressed? Well, maybe sometimes. But not at this point in my life. It don't mean I'm depressed. It means that I'm not that high maintenance chick. Not all the time. Sometimes I get in my mood once in a while where I want to dress all up and all that stuff. Now, I understand the whole social thing, and I don't even really like that. But I understand that. And sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get done what you need to get done. But just on the average, everyday, regular, I don't want to dress up all the time. I love sweatpants. I like jeans. I don't like love jeans. I love how my booty look in jeans and the right jeans. I like t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? I like t-shirts, sweatpants, tennis shoes. I like to be comfortable. I like leggings and tank tops and tennis shoes. The tennis shoes are important. Yes, I do. Sometimes I like the sundresses. Sometimes I like, the little, what do you call it? Like A-line dresses and stuff like that. Be nice. It'd be nice. I like the way heels look. I don't like how they feel. So I wear the heels once in a while. I hate flip-flops. I don't like the things between your toes. And you got to scrunch your toes up to hold them in place. I don't like that. Sometimes I like how wigs look. Before I had the locks, I used to like weaves and all of that stuff, but not all the time. I don't like stuff being glued down to my head. I feel like I'm trapped in my hair, like it's a hat that just would not come off, and I hate it. I feel trapped. I don't like acrylic nails because I feel trapped. I can't do what I need to do. Scratching don't even feel the same. I can't pick my nose like I want to pick my nose. I don't like the nails. They be real pretty though, but I don't like how I feel. Then it's just something that's just cemented to my hand and I feel trapped. Same thing with eyelashes. And that's once getting past like the glue getting in your eyes and burning your eyes. Look, growing up, they said beauty is pain. They won't lie, all of that stuff. They used to say that about getting your hair straightened and getting your hair braided. There was wigs that hurt when it come off. Eyelashes with glue getting your eyes and burn the hell out you. And then when you got it on, you got to keep blinking 50 million times because it's something that's not natural on your eyelash. Even when you forget it's there, then all of a sudden it kind of feels like you got a piece of lint on your eyelash. Then you go to pull it and part of it come off. You got the individuals, you got the whole thing, you end up pulling the whole thing up. It just be too much. And it just feels unnatural. So I don't like it, but I like how it looked. I'll do it and take a picture and then take it right off. I don't much like makeup. The first time I had a full face of makeup, I looked in the mirror and got scared because I felt like I was looking at myself, but it was not me. I'm like, who the hell is that? It was worse than like tripping off mushrooms. I did not like it at all. So just maybe, some lip gloss. That's about it. But now there's like, the Meaningful Beauties airbrush junk. I never tried that. That's a little lighter. Maybe I don't know. But then, there's people that like transforming, right? They hit the contour, all that stuff, and they somebody different. They look like somebody different. That's okay for them. And it'd be pretty. It'd be real pretty. That's just not for me. So I'm comfortable with me. Especially all them years I went from perms to fro, shaved head. Had to get used to my natural hair. And not being ashamed because I ain't had weave or something, sew-in. Yes. That's how long this journey has been. Them sew-ins back in the day. Them glue-ins. And I used to get them blends though. That leave I was blending. Yes it was, yes it was. But I ain't like the fact I thought about that. Every time like, take your hair out in between. Gotta be hiding, feeling anxious, can't let nobody see you. I ain't like that. That ain't make sense. Like, look at all these other people hair growing naturally out their head and they just fine. They ain't gotta have it all done up all the time. Why we can't? Cause we black? That ain't right. And then, oh my goodness, the awkward phase of the locks. Ooh, chat. It took me cut and regrow a couple times before I got used to that. And then every stage, I'm like, hell yeah, look at that, look at that. So I get bald, short, longer. Poofy and nappy, twisted, scalp filling the air. Yes, yes. Oh, I'm glad she was so busy barking she didn't see that food on the ground. I hate when they try to eat the food out from outside, because you just never know. And then the little dog gets end up sick or something. Nope, nope, nope. We're not eating food off the ground unless we grow it. Whales, whales, whales. This has been a nice one. Pretty lovely, pretty lovely. And that's another thing, the goodbyes have been pretty awkward. So, I ain't even trying to figure it out. It was just like peace.